guys, Big Benoit 589 here. I got my buddy Tom. We have a couple of things to talk about. A bit of a rant today because a lot of things in the news that are happening kind of made me a little more flustered than normal. People these days, they really have no heart for human life or in some fashion, animal life or any kind of life in general. Safety, yeah. So safety in general. There's a couple of news stories on the past 2 months. The first one that I want to bring up is the lion incident. Somewhere in, I think it was the United States, I'm not sure exactly, there was an incident where this guy who was suicidal, I guess he left the suicide note at the zoo where he was going. He jumped into the lion exhibit and he basically was trying to kill himself. And the people who work at the zoo didn't even think of the fact that, you know, there's a note there probably. Let's read that note where, I mean, it's safety reason, you should probably be like, oh my God, someone's in there, take care of it. Yeah. But there's a note there, and the first thing you think of is, oh, it's kill the lions for his safety. It makes me sick to know that they're killing endangered animals. Like these animals, there's very few in the world now.
Yeah, on this whole planet. You know, that's what it's insane.
And I think my Nana makes a valid point, and it sticks to one of the other stories I'm going to talk about. My Nana makes a valid point that if these animals are endangered, these enclosures should be built better. They should be built with plastic, like those, I can't remember what it is. It's like those large, thick, like plastic or glass that they use for aquariums, stuff like that.
It's like bulletproof, right?
Yeah, and it has to be tall. It has to be big enough so no one can jump over or go under. Which brings me to the understory. The mother who let the child, or maybe the child just did, I don't know.
The child, like, the mom was looking after another kid or two or something, and then the child turned and, like, booked it. But I just think that, like, I don't know, like, I just think that there was no other adults there that thought, well, I better grab that kid before he vaults over the
gorilla exhibit.
The barrier that was there. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a little, like, strange. And I understand that they had to kill the gorilla because he could have killed the kid any moment. It just upsets me that it had to happen at all.
Yeah, in that fashion, you know? Yeah. And part of me agrees that the zoo took some of the right steps forward to help the situation.
Well, there's zoos all over. There's zoos plenty of places, and you don't see this happening all the time. Yeah. That's the part that, like, I'm like, why is this happening? Like, why is this happening now? I've never heard of this happening that often. Like, I don't know.
Well, and then the biggest problem I have is that, like I said, the gorillas had been shot for the child's safety. Had been shot for the child's safety. But on the same token, I fall in that category where they should have been built the enclosure better, one. Two, and that mother should be charged or something, because you know what? Hold your damn child's hand. You know what? And I hate seeing these things in stores. Get a child leash.
Like, you have that many kids that you, like, don't, you know, but her husband was there apparently, so they both were doting on them. I don't know. I just feel bad, and, you know.
And then the worst part is the mother's like, oh, mommy's here, here. Oh my God, I swear to God, if that was my kid, I wouldn't be screaming, mommy's here, mommy's here.
My dad said he would have been down in the enclosure, like
boxing the fucking gorilla.
Yeah.
Like, give me my fucking child back. Like,
There's some guy in the back, of course, saying, Jesus, protect this child. Yeah.
Like, it's sickening that they, you know, these poor animals, lifeless. These poor animals. I want to say lifeless.
Helpless. He's sitting there, and you think it's like an acorn. A child falls on your head, and you're like, huh? What? Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're like, and you're like.
I was trying to save it.
I was like, what's happening? Like, I don't know.
It's just sad these days, the state of mind of people. It's like, take care of your kids, one thing, and and I'm gonna get a lot of hate comments from this probably, or a lot of thumbs down from the video itself. But I really don't care. It's just my opinion, and I just think it's ridiculous that
all the things that are on topic this week or whatnot have all in common is guns.
Yeah,
I guess would be the.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
That's the common thread. So, even though the times with the animals is a little more understandable, quote unquote.
The next
but they still do all involve them, so it's interesting.
And the one that really makes me upset, and physically more upset, because I watched this person from the beginning of her career, is Christina Grimme.
Playing piano on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, doing tribute videos for songs in her bedroom.
And some psycho.
Yeah, and some psycho follows her to her concert, comes up to her during a freaking autograph session, and pops her in the head. Like, this is depressing. Like, and the thing, what drives me nuts with the situation that's going on is the news. Is because the news will cover partial story, and they'll cut to something that's not even part of the story.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I saw on Facebook was they're talking about this next story, talking about the nightclub shooting in Florida. All right, they did a partial clip of it saying, "Oh, 50 people were killed in Florida at a gay nightclub," and it's like,
it's actually really like upsetting. Like, I don't know. I just find it even hard to like think about. I don't really watch a lot of the news because things will stick with me, and it makes me. It'll kind of like bring out certain negative feelings that I already have under like below the surface. It kind of is like kind of picking a scab almost. So I just think it's like, I just hate the fact that, you know, you think we've come so far, but then we really haven't. And everybody's like, oh, it's terrorism, period, because the guy was Muslim. But it's actually specifically terrorism on the LGBTQ community. And this is Pride Month. This is like, you know, the month of June. It's all really sad, and it just makes me think that the world we live in hasn't changed very much in some ways, you know. I don't. And then as far as like gun control goes, like, I just think like, to say the guy was crazy, it's not the gun's fault. Yeah, but we seem crazy too, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And we just keep seeing gun incident after gun incident after gun incident, and we do absolutely nothing. And the Second Amendment was written when Sarah Silverman said something, and I was just talking about this last night, though it was funny, but that the Second Amendment was written about muskets, for God's sakes. Like, it wasn't about automatic assault rifles. Like, this guy walked up with 2 automatics and a pistol. Like, it's easier to get a gun than it is to get a car.
Yeah, it's
in some places, I think. I know it is easier in most places, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
well, and what makes me sick about the situation is that these people, they were out celebrating, having a good time, and they're just ruthlessly, I'm going to use that word again, ruthlessly shot for no reason whatsoever.
Nobody deserves to die that way. To die in such panic, and to die in such confusion. The first few people hit probably didn't even see it coming. Yeah. That's what it's just sad. And
what drove me even more bonkers, and this I kind of went back from the thought, was on Facebook there's this post about this guy talking about how they're talking about the nightclub shooting, how there's 50 people shot on the news, and it was like a short 1 minute sentence, and they go, today's the Queen's birthday in England, and they put like 3 or 4 minutes of that. What's more important right now?
Do you want to I know exactly what you're saying. When there was 3 Muslim students killed execution style by their neighbor like a year ago, and it was absolutely terrible. It was obviously it was obviously a hate crime. You know, he knew they were Muslim, but they were just students. They were going to be doctors, normal, everyday, kind people. And they said that they would see him and that he would harass them. They said he was basically a drunk guy who would come over and flash his gun at them and say derogatory things and then just go home. But he ended up killing them. And he said it was over a parking spot, which is, even if that was true, which it so clearly isn't, that's sick and crazy as it is.
Yeah.
And then do you want to know what they segued it into? Well, speaking of parking spots, do you want to know how to find that parking spot at the mall? That's literally what they said. And I'm like, you just degraded 3 human lives, basically. You spoke about that for like 3 minutes, and now you're talking about mall parking.
I think we need to focus the news on what's more important and what's going on. It's ridiculous how I understand some form of fashion why they do it. They want to take a negative and make it think of some people think of positive. Like, listen, all that stuff happened. We want to make it a little bit more cheery instead of being depressed during the day.
To me, it's ridiculous. It under the rug because I feel like it's just like wanting people to
forget about
be sheep and not like think it's a big deal. But I don't really think like.
Oh, I agree, and that's where I stand at that. It's like, you know, the Queen's birthday could have been put first, and then they could have done more of a clip on the shooting, and it just makes me sick. It's like I am a strong believer that like the news is just dumbed down with so many negative stories now, and a lot of the negative stories out there, and a lot of the stories on the news, not all negative sometimes, is not important to us. Like,
yeah, if they're not negative, they're like ridiculously aloof, just like Rachel Nooney, an 83-year-old woman in Sakahassee, has 83 cats that she has raised since they were kittens. And then it just goes to her and she's like, they sleep all over my house. And it's just like, I'm like, okay, well.
Let's talk about something that's important, you know? There's 10,000 some odd people in the world that are poor, and it's like, we're going to talk about fucking cats in a lady's house.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people, it's just funny, the scope that we have.
I'm gonna end the vlog in some form, in this form and fashion. I will keep everyone in thought right now. The gorillas, the lions. I hope that they didn't die in pain when they were shot. Christina Grimme, I really wish it didn't happen this fashion. I wish that.
She's only 22.
Yeah, 22 years old. She was too young. Taken too young. She had a very bright career ahead of her. And all the people who were hurt and killed in the nightclub shooting, and you guys,
families.
I feel horrible for you, horrible that happened to you, and I wish the best for everyone to recover who are in the hospital. And if you guys do want to help out, I read a story that people are donating blood. Please donate blood to help these people out, because I think it's needed this time. And the way I think about it, this is, remember way back in 2001, I'm probably going to get hate from not recognizing this, when 9/11 happened, everyone went back together and helped each other out. We need that partnership with everybody, with all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
When a nightclub nightclub shooting happens, we all need to stick together. We all need to be there for each other, no matter the race, no matter the color, no matter the how negative you are, how positive you are. We all need to stick together and help each other out. It's just getting to a point in this world where I feel like Professor Fromsworth from Futurama, where he's like, I don't want to live on Earth anymore. Yeah. That's exactly how I feel, because this is ridiculous.
It's true. And those people don't deserve to die in vain either. So even though it's even been hard for like myself, it gives me anxiety to leave my house. It's important to have a voice, because we still have the ability to.
Freedom of speech.
We still have the power to speak out for them, even though they're no longer with us.
So you guys are all my thoughts. I'm not religious, but I'll tell you right now, if I was sitting here praying right now, I'd be praying for you guys.
Whatever's up there, whatever's out there, like
I wish the best for everybody. And this isn't one of my normal vlogs. I know you guys are probably looking at me like, oh my God, he's ranting. But you know what? It has to be said, because a lot of things are going on in the world today that a lot of our future generations are not even going to know until they read it in our history books, you know? And even then, they're probably going to shrug it off going, it's not important. But no, it is important. Partnership, friendship, stay strong, help each other out, and be there for each other, you know? A lot of times people think it's just family. No, friends are family too.
Yeah, no,
It's much more than blood. So this has been Big Ben 589 and Tom. Signing off. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know how I'm doing. A couple more videos coming out today when I get home. Let you know what's going on. Signing off.